Today we ask a vexing question that has puzzled both scientist and pundit. Why are we saving daylight? And where are we keeping it?
Time changes are an annoyance I take personally. I used to live in the one part of Indiana that didn't change times. I didn't move, but the powers that be decreed that people in central Indiana were getting too cocky because we didn't have to change our sleep schedules every 6 months. Things were too darn convenient for us and they had to change. For the worse, of course. My sister in Chicago was on the same time as me in the winter. My sister who lived in Baltimore was with us during the summers. So, even though time changed all around me, I did not have to readjust. Instead, I could just gloat and ask, "So, what time is it where you are today?" I mean, we can all live with phone calls that are an hour too early in the morning and a little inconveniently late at night. But sometimes time is real important. And then the time change can be a disaster, or at least a real embarrassment. The biggest challenge wasn't keeping track of family schedules. It was remembering what Indiana courts were on Chicago time during the winter. Missing a court date because of a time mix-up wasn't unheard of. Still, this occasional alarm clock malfunction did not play well with judges or clients. There had to be a solution, right? Well, yeah, there probably was, and if our lawmakers had landed on it, we all would have ridden into the sunset singing Kumbaya. Legislative mischief was soon afoot to correct the problem beyond repair. Indiana's General Assembly decided that being in 3 time zones wasn't fitting for our great state. Instead of convincing the rest of Indiana to adopt our sensible, no-time change schedule, they decreed that we would join the southern part of the state and observe Eastern Time year-round. That is why I take time changes as a personal affront. My complaint is just and simple. In the fall, 8:30 a.m. is still too darn early, but at least it arrives when it is supposed to. In the summer, it gets here a whole hour earlier. And you know what the excuse for daylight savings time is? The extra hour of evening daylight was supposed to help farmers during planting and harvesting. Don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-farmer. I live in Indiana and consider agriculture a patriotic, if occasionally stinky, pursuit. I'm proud to claim citizenship in the hog capital of the world and will defend the pig as both the noblest and tastiest of animals. But let's be honest, how does changing the time give farmers an extra hour of sunlight? Does the sun suddenly shine longer because we fiddled with our clocks? Are farmers' mothers calling them indoors at dusk, or do they need alarm clocks installed in cows' stomachs and hens' nests to collect the essentials on time? If there's one silver lining, it's the humor this mess inspires. One of my favorite jokes, surely written by a puzzled out-of-stater, goes like this. At the Indianapolis airport, a man approaches the ticket counter.
Ma'am, what time does the plane to Chicago leave?
1 p.m.
What time does it land in Chicago?
1 p.m. Do you want a ticket?
No, but I'm sure as hell going to watch it take off.